Welcome to the inaugural ToroMagazine.com video game reviews. We're starting with Far Cry 2 from Ubisoft, a highly anticipated game. Far Cry 2 has an incredibly realistic design, which is one of the main selling points, I'm sure, for a lot of people. The developers actually went to Africa to study the jungle and the desert and to record ambient sounds. It'll look good no matter what you have, but especially if you have a great big high-definition TV, it will look absolutely spectacular, and that is recommended for the best possible experience. Far Cry 2 has what's called a sandbox style approach to the gameplay, which means that the player is allowed to achieve their goals and go about their missions any way they please, really. You can attack through stealth or you can attack head on. There's no one telling you what you have to do and when you have to do it. You can explore the atmosphere and the environment any way you feel like. Sort of like a Grand Theft Auto style approach. In Far Cry 2, you have to use maps and vehicles to achieve your goals. Unlike a lot of games that force you to load up a different screen in order to view your map, you can view your map simultaneous to the action, which is great because it prevents the game from slowing down and makes it a lot easier to travel around because the environment is so open and so big. To have a map there is great to keep you from getting lost. And to have vehicles to travel around, since there's a lot of traveling time in the game, you have to use jeeps and boats to really get where you're going quickly. The makers of Far Cry 2 really want the player to explore the environment as best as they can. They don't want you to follow along a specific path. They want you to climb mountains and jump in rivers and do all sorts of things. In addition to that, there's a changing weather system in the game that you will notice. Over time, the weather and the environment will change. It'll start to get dark, or it'll start to get windy, or it will start to rain heavily while you're playing, which actually isn't aesthetic. It actually changes how you play the game. It changes how you perform accordingly. It really adds to the realism, I think, a great deal. In addition to the single-player game, Far Cry 2 gives you the option of designing your own multiplayer maps, which is really cool and fantastic. It's kind of similar to the tools and the editing system that the developers use, although simplified a bit. You can build mountains and build rivers and all sorts of stuff, and when you make a map that you're happy with, you can actually upload it onto Xbox Live and allow other players to use it and to rate it. Overall, I'd give Far Cry 2 a good solid 8 out of 10. So if you are looking for a game that is more focused on straight action, you might want to look somewhere else, but if you're looking for a game that is really realistic and really sort of echoes what it would be like to be in Africa and what it would be like to basically shoot somebody, then I would recommend Far Cry 2. For that reason, it's absolutely fantastic.